Hello everybody, this is Matt with Board Game Design Time, and today we're going to give you 6 easy tips on how to write more effective rules. And here's tip number 1. The first tip is don't over-explain obvious rules, such as roll a die, draw a card, move a space. People who've played board games before, this is common knowledge to them, and they'll start glossing over all your other rules if they think they already know them. Tip number 2. Your rules are for reference and learning. Do not muddy it up with information that doesn't need to be there, like paragraphs on how to go gardening after you make a gardening game. That's not an impertinent rule to add in your book. It's not part of the game. Also, don't muddy it up with really bad jokes. People want to learn the game, not get a little chuckle. I mean, you could add jokes on the side, but for the most part, people just want to learn your game. And also it helps with keeping your pages down and making it quicker and easier to learn.
What about dad jokes?
Dad jokes are okay. Tip number 3. Be consistent in your terms. This is a very important one, and it's one that I took quite a bit to learn. For example, don't have a character be a wizard on one page and the same character be a mage on the next page. People get confused with that. Another easy one is like round and turn. You don't want to mix any of those up. So be consistent. What I do is I get a piece of scratch paper and write down all of the key terms I'm going to be using in the rule book so I'm consistent from page to page. This makes reading your rule book way better and more consistent. Tip number 4. Write your rules as if someone was sitting right next to you teaching you the game, so an active voice. You don't want a sentence that says the dice are rolled or a sentence that says a card is drawn. You want to have that person over your shoulder teaching you the game, and it's written as roll the dice, draw the card. It gets the reader more engaged and a feel for actually playing the game. Tip number 5. When writing a sentence, be more direct and do not use advice words. Words like should or would. For example, when passing go, collect $200. Do not write, when you pass go, you should collect $200. This makes it feel like the player has a choice. Now, if you do have a rule that there is a choice, make it obvious. Say, you may collect $200, not should or would. Yeah, just try to take as many advice words out of your sentences. It'll make it more direct and cleaner. And final tip, number 6. It may be a controversial one, but it actually helps me writing rules and designing games in general. If a rule is too hard to write in words, it may be too hard to learn in general. It could be that you might have to change your rules in the game or even cut a rule out entirely. A lot of people don't want to do this, but you're trying to let people learn the game or have people learn the game by reading your rules. And you're not there to explain it for them, so you have to have it in a written form. So if a rule is too hard to write, you might have to cut it. I'm sorry, it's just part of the design. It's tough sometimes. I had to do it, and who knows, maybe your game is better for it. So those were 6 simple tips on how to write a more effective rulebook. If you have any questions about this episode, please comment below. And if you want to see more Board Game Design Time, please subscribe. My name is Matt, and we'll see you next time. Thanks for watching.